Have you been thinking about buying your first home and you've been really paying attention to what's going on in the news and the real estate market? And you've noticed that there has been a huge uproar talk about realtors and their commissions and whether a buyer's agent would be necessary if you were to buy a home. My name is Amy DeBusk, and I am a certified mortgage planner. And today I want to talk to you about why having a realtor as a buyer is so important. And one of the questions that has been posed lately is, well, why do we need two realtors on a purchase transaction? One for the listing and the seller, and one for the buyer. There is so much that goes on behind the scenes when you buy a house. And I think we in our industry always want it to be really fluffy and want it to be fun and exciting for you as the buyer. However, there are some really serious things going on. One of the things is that when you buy a house, you are signing a legal binding contract. That means that you're legally bound to buy this house, and you put up what's called earnest money deposit right away when you first enter into the contract, sometimes to the tune of $10,000 and $20,000 that sits in an account the entire time that we're processing your financing, and going through the steps to finish out the process where you buy the house. Okay. So that legal binding contract has so much in it. And you're asking, when you're saying, oh, well, okay, I could just have the seller's realtor represent me and the seller, and we could cut the realtor out, right? Well, there's a big hole in that problem because, number one, any good realtor is not going to represent the buyer and the seller because it opens up them to a lot of risk. That's number one. Number two is that you as a buyer, you want your own representation. You want that one realtor that has your best interest at heart, that's not going to have anything to do with the seller or what the seller needs are or what the seller wants financially. So that's number two. I just feel like there's so much misinformation out there about all the different things that a realtor does for you as a buyer's agent. So the main thing, of course, is the realtor is negotiating your purchase price. Okay. But that's just the first round of negotiations. The second round of negotiations is after you go do your home inspection, you go do a pest inspection, maybe you had to do a roof inspection, and you've got all these reports coming in. Well, the realtor, as your buyer's agent, they're helping you decipher, like, what do those reports mean? Well, do I need a new roof? Is there termites in the house? Does the house need to be tented for termites? How much is that going to cost? When you have a realtor right by your side that understands the reports, that understands the contract, is a good negotiator, you're not only is your earnest money deposit going to be protected, but in addition to that, your realtor is going to negotiate maybe a lower purchase price for you. Maybe the realtor is going to negotiate a seller credit to cover the costs of whatever is wrong with the house. Because FYI, there's no perfect house. Even a newer home can have problems. So if you didn't have a realtor that was representing only you, I would venture to say that there would be a lot of things that could go missed, and you could potentially buy a house that had a lot of problems that you had no clue about. I had a story recently I had a buyer get into contract. She was a first time home buyer, a single gal, and on the outside, the house looked beautiful. The yard was beautifully done, brand new pool. It was remodeled. The bathrooms were remodeled. Well, her realtor had her get a home inspection, and the home inspector pointed out that the walls were buckling because when they set the tile in the bathroom, they actually set the tile too soon, and there was foundational issues. When we got a contractor out there, the realtor has a contractor that she brought in that walked the house and went through how much it was going to cost to cure all these problems. Well, long story short, after we did all the inspections and we decided that it was going to cost way too much money to bring this house up to standard of what it should have been to fix all the problems, we ended up canceling the contract. That was the realtor's recommendation for this buyer, that we needed to just move on and go to a different house. Well, this client had a $20,000 deposit down on the house as her earnest money deposit, and she had waived the appraisal contingency. So that wasn't a reason why she could cancel the contract. She had to cancel the contract because of the repair contingency. Anyway, again, just another huge reason why, by having a buyer's agent right next to you during that process and having somebody who is knowledgeable and who can explain things in a way that you can understand, and also get you the information about the house so that you can make a good educated decision for yourself, is what you need. So again, I just, as a partner in this whole industry, as a loan officer of 25 years, I feel like it is my responsibility to explain and get the word out to my clientele that you really absolutely need and should have a realtor represent you on any buyer transaction. So if you have any questions about how to buy your first house, what the steps are you would need to take, please, you can contact me by clicking the link and scheduling a discovery call.